It's a form of some for money about my Mr. Hygiene, mediane Mr. Hygiene. Dia michire any efin, any dia main penny say ye bo efin who de wo abribia na waye waso den. Na wo dia wo koso eye Ghana efin. Eno pe na mempe. Na se wo jai sa ye dia ende na yen konkwa. This episode is called My Voice to the People. Do you have a voice? Then let's hear you. Let's hear your voice in the comment section. Drop your comment, share the video, like it, and let your friends also see the video. Do you understand that? This is Mr. Hygiene. Today, we are going to interview VVVIP, very high personality in our society. Do you understand? This is all about Mr. Hygiene. We always want to give you the best. And we are going to interview the CEO of Gumwa Wonderland and many other companies under this man's portfolio. Let's go straight into my interview. Good morning, Honourable.
Good morning, Mr. Hygiene.
I am very privileged to have you on our show.
I think the privilege is rather mine to have you here.
Ghanaians are expecting much. During the festive season, we came here and we show people Gumwa Wonderland. Today we are talking to the visionary. Please, what inspired you to do this great thing here?
Yeah, to be able to understand my inspiration, the source of it, I have to go back to when I was a kid.
Yes.
I've always loved nature. I've always felt attached to nature. I've loved wildlife, rivers, forests, even the sound of falling rain, lakes, anything that is nature. I've loved it from when I was a kid. And it's also reflected in the type of literature that I read, the type of things that I read. And sometimes I get close to poets who write about nature. And I just fall in love with nature whenever I see nature.
Okay. So this is from your childhood that you have developed some love, and now it has resulted in this big thing that we are seeing here.
Yeah, this thing we could say could be almost by accident, because I decided when I was going to retire that I was going to farming, because that's my natural leaning. So I decided to go into coconut farming.
Okay.
Then I had one coconut farm. There was a dam there. I started having ideas. If you could have people sit around the dam and then have lunch, we could do that. So I started doing that with my family.
Okay.
Then I got an offer for this land. And when I saw this land, it fitted perfectly my purpose.
Oh, great.
Because the land is quite flat, and immediately I saw it, I realized, and then the water behind us.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this when I came. It was all full of weeds and other things. But I saw that something could happen to it. So I started planting my coconuts, but left some area unplanted. My kids and others asked me what I was going to do with that. I didn't tell anybody. 2 years after the coconuts grew up to a certain level, which gave us some ambience, I brought in the machines and started clearing and leveling, and gradually the result is what you see here today.
Yeah.
It was a family thing. We wanted to come here, have family meetings, but then we decided if this is good for us, it should be good for everybody. So for a small fee, if we bring people outside so they can manage places. What I do realize that we've lived in urban areas where there's no space, nowhere, from Dansuman to Kwashiman, all the way. We don't have open spaces at all. And when people want to get out, the only place you get out to go to is to go to sit in a bar. Then you'll be tempted to drink beer or whatever. When all you need to do is to have some fresh air, be at peace, have some quiet with your family and yourself. Yeah. You need to go and sit at a beer bar where there's loud noise, because there's nowhere else when you leave your house. So I thought this is an opportunity. Let's open it up. Let's encourage Ghanaians to come. And we started doing that.
This is opportunity that Honourable have seen it. And he's inviting all Ghanaians, especially the churches. I mean, the place is serene, very cool, very calm, that you also come and experience nature. You experience nature. Honourable, somebody will ask me, my viewers will ask, by Mr. Hygiene, you didn't ask his name or you didn't let him introduce himself to us. I will do that, okay? We are coming right there. Please, my name, Honourable Opong Kusi.
Your friend David Opong Kusi.
Okay.
Honourable, the baby, because I woke parliament in the demand. Now, if you parliament, I say, I want to baby. And so can be an honourable.
Once a soldier, always a soldier.
Okay, title for those who are in parliament. But Ghana, I know who cry near the floor. The friend David Opong Kusi. If you achim Ofoase.
Okay.
That's a mammy achim. Papa Sufi abroad Papa Sufi fancy.
Okay, so you share two rings.
It's a can fancy.
I can't fancy.
Papa.
Oh, great.
Me just on market.
Okay.
Let's see. Me as professionally me a quan surveyor.
Okay.
Professionally quan surveyor. My ejuma within the road sector for a very long time. And son I maybe call parliament to go and serve my people.
Okay.
Then after 3 terms, I decided on my own that I was not going to contest anymore because I wanted to tie into what I believe is my passion and my dream.
Okay.
And don't wait till you are too old when you can hardly walk before you do that. Otherwise, we will enjoy it.
Okay, so today I think I've cleared the air. Honourable have cleared the air because there was a speculation that your party asked you to step down for
No. Nobody did that.
Okay.
I did that myself. And I called them. I mean, it was a shock to all of them, even to our flag bearer. What's happening? Is something wrong? No, there's nothing wrong. I just wanted, I've had 12 years, and I think I've gathered enough experience. And really, I wanted to retire whilst I was strong enough to be able to do something like this.
So, those of you, the gossipers that have been saying, oh, Honourable Opong Kusi was asked to step down, it's not true.
It is not true.
He did that willingly, okay? There was no strings attached, okay? And so, do you still have relationship with the government in power as an MPP? You hold position in your
Of course. I am an MPP through and through. I will continue to do that until I die. Okay. So, I still have positive relationship with my...
within the
everybody within the party.
Great.
And I still serve in certain capacities. I don't want to say it. I still serve in certain capacities within the
That's
party.
great. Now, let's talk about sanitation. Mr. Hygiene is trying to educate people, informed people. We want to kick filth away from our society. Poor sanitation habits is one of the things that is killing Ghanaians. It is bringing a lot of diseases, sicknesses. During your term in office as an MP of Ayirebi constituency for 3 terms, what did you do in terms of sanitation? What were the greatest achievements of Honourable Opong Kusi when it comes to sanitation?
Before we even narrow into Ofoase Ayirebi, as a member of parliament, I served on the committee for local government and rural development for all the 3 terms that I was in parliament. And one of the biggest issues we had to do was with sanitation. I mean, all this issue about Zoom Lion and the relations I had with parliament, and it was a huge thing. So I was on that committee for all the 12 years I served in parliament. So sanitation has been one of my greatest distance. For example, in Ofoase, one of the problems I've faced with this country is the way we disregard what God has given us. Wetlands. It is wetland. It's for us wetland. We see wetlands as a dumping site for our garbage, and everywhere you go, if you realize the garbage is pushed into wetlands, the next thing is to fill it up, and then we don't have. But wetlands are God's own reservoirs for us during the dry season. You can see now it's very, very dry. Without wetlands, most of our plants would die. So, in Ofoase, for example, we have a wetland right in the middle. I realized, for example, that they were trying to fill it up. I went straight to the chief and said, look, we can add value to this wetland. So please don't sell this wetland. We'll see what we can do about it. So one of the things about sanitation, you begin by not creating the issue at all. Because what I realized that when you do create the issue, even removing it comes with a cost. So one of the things about wherever I go, that is my message.
Okay.
Look, cleanliness is next to godliness. Don't create the garbage dump in the first place before you come back to try to remove it. So it's been my clarion call throughout the time that I worked on the constituency whilst I was working in this place. So, and unfortunately, in our rural areas, it's a bit easier to handle. But again, unfortunately, we are trying to pick out some of the bad practices in urban areas now when we go to our rural areas. So we continue to be an advocate. I was a strong advocate for hygiene. I mean, it's me. As when you come here, one of the key things here is that we zero tolerance for plastics. So all my staff have been trained that wherever you walk, your eyes should be looking out for plastic. Whether it's a bottle top, no matter how tiny, pick it. So plastics is another issue that we have to deal with as a people. At the moment we try to stop creating that waste, I think we're halfway through solving the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Gomwa Wonderland, you said you started with coconut farm. How many acres of coconut farm do you have currently?
I have a 30-acre coconut farm about 5 kilometers from here. That was my first farm before I got this lease. This land actually is about 80 acres, but it's not all planted with coconuts. As you can see, part of it is the Gomwa Wonderland, part of it is the water you see behind me, and part of it is a forest about 1.5 acres. I intentionally left that forest, so I didn't clear it. And when people come here, they go in. Some people have even gone through a forest before. They come from Accra, and then we do what we call a morning hike.
Okay.
So I take them through the forest and we're able to tell them of what the forest did for us and could continue to do for us. Now, the habitats of all our wildlife are being destroyed. So if you look behind us, there's one part of this lake which looks like it's not been tended to. People say, oh, why don't you clear it? I say, it's the habitat for these water creatures. It is the area where they are able to breed. So I intentionally left that area as an ecosystem for the fish and other water. So I consciously do things to avoid destroying nature. I have a coconut grove, not a coconut, a bamboo grove here.
Okay. Yeah.
When I came here, the villages around, it is their custom to come and cut. So I went around, beat the gongo all around that. If it's on my land, you are not cutting any bamboo.
Wow.
And now, when the sun is up, you can go there and relax.
Yeah. I think the last time we went there.
And like I said, when churches and groups come here, that's a fine place to go, relax, and then meditate. Sure. And I always tell them, God is very close when you go to Him. Yeah. When you are close to nature, you are close to God.
When you are close to nature, you are
close to God.
So now the coconut farms that we have, what are the plans? What are the future? I can see we have this beautiful.
Yes,
this is cocoa fresh. Cocoa fresh.
The pure water.
This was
undiluted.
Right here, undiluted.
Or undiluted.
Okay. So when you are coming to Gomwa Wonderland, expect this fresh coconut, undiluted, right from Gomwa Wonderland.
Yeah.
And this is
the coconut milk.
This is coconut milk made
the fruits.
Okay, the coconut
blended with the coconut water, and it tastes wonderful.
This look very appetizing, man.
Wonderful, and it's better than the yogurt.
Yes,
you buy.
This is natural.
It's natural. No additives. Unfortunately, I don't sell it outside. I'm yet to have a license to sell it outside. What I'm doing here is a project called From Farm to Table.
From farm.
So it's the same thing that you buy from my farm, which has been packaged nicely for you, from farm to table. And that we have. This farm also has a bit of a mango and then a pawpaw session. So when they are in season, the pawpaw is in season now, the mango is in season now. When they're in season, we intend to. I started this project not long ago. We intend to add on. Once I can get approval to sell it outside, once I get approval to sell it outside, then we can add additives. We'll probably add a little fresh ginger and give it some taste. But this is to begin with. It's convenient. Instead of holding the whole thing in your hand, it's convenient to simply buy it chilled. Yeah. And somebody said when he came here, it's so drinkable. and that said lots about this. This is nature.
Can I try this one?
Please do. This is nature. This is what God gave us.
This is Mr. Hygiene, and this is fresh, cocoa fresh from Gumwa Wonderland.
From farm to table.
So fresh.
Shake it.
From farm to table.
Yeah, and then you are done.
Just shake it a bit, and you are done, and you can have it. I shouldn't be silly. I'm sitting here with Honourable.
So my advice is that we should all come back close to nature. The way we are parceling out our lands and filling them with concrete as if there's no future. Along the route, I sometimes feel very sad. Even along the route towards here, all the wetlands around Kusi Junction are being filled. Unfortunately, now we have developed into filling the wetlands above the existing road. So now water drains onto our roads to destroy our road. I think we need to tackle that. It's not about going to remove a garbage dump. It's about avoiding doing that in the first place. And one of the first things we should look at are our wetlands, our Ramsar sites, and the little wetlands. There's a reason God gave to us. So in Genesis, God did everything and said it was beautiful. Then He brought us in His own image to take care of it. What's happening? What is happening? So when you talk of sanitation, go back to the Bible, go back to creation, even go back to our grandfathers. In our rural settings, the place was clean. There was no dirt. Now we are dealing with plastics. Everything is wrapped in plastics. We have left the leaves, and these are not degradable.
And that reminds me, Honourable, when you talk about our grandfathers, when I was growing up, we have this Asaman people that normally comes around and I remember one time my younger brother poo-pooing somewhere, and when these people were coming, my mother was running. She almost fell down. And then government took over. The local government, I think they took over, and things hasn't been the same.
That crop of people have vanished into thin air. There is a program to bring them back. Now I know they are bringing them back, but I don't know whether they will have the same impact. But again, you see, you consume what you value. Okay. If we value cleanliness, we will consume it. It looks as if the generation coming do not value beyond their personal cleanliness. But you come out clean. When you go into your room, the room is dirty. You don't value. So you need to consume cleanliness as a product. Now, before, our grandfather, even before the Saman, you will see that they will tell you, on Fridays, we don't go into this stream.
Yes.
This portion, we don't farm there. So they left all the wetlands there. When our chiefs were supposed to be illiterate, they preserved our wetlands. Then they will tell you, yes. So there's a forest reserve that nobody goes in. Now all those forest reserves are gone. We used to bury our people there. Now all the wetlands are gone. Now we don't even respect. We go to the streams anytime. And now Galamsey has come to even destroy the little that we had. How do we get these things back? It has to come from a love of nature. We should teach our children to love nature. I bring my children here. I bring my grandchildren here so that they can enjoy nature. Sometimes people come here, so I'm afraid. Maybe I'll see a snake. I said, look, snakes don't live with us. They live here. So when you come into that territory, you expect to see them. But they're all part of us. Again, if we start appreciating this thing, the problem when we go back to home. So it's one of the targets that when people come here and appreciate how clean the place is.
I think
how close to the original creation the place is. We have a tagline that says, it feels like heaven.
Yes, it feels like heaven.
Yeah, it's a line from a little ode I wrote for this place.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah, looking around, looking at the coconuts, looking at the water, looking at the birds. I was lying in this hammock, and I wrote a very short. Then towards the end, one of my staff called me, Daddy, your food is ready. And I put that in, that I woke up, because in that time I was dreaming. I thought, is this heaven?
Wow.
And when I woke up, I realized that it wasn't heaven. It was Gumwa.
It was
Gumwa Wonderland. But it feels like heaven. So that's our tagline. When they come, you see, it feels like heaven.
This place feels like heaven. So when you were pastor, bring your congregation, come and do your retreat here, and you are close to there.
So we are extending invitation to church groups, like I said. Some have been here, schools, other groups, alumni groups, families, especially. I want to welcome families. There are a lot of people who live around Nyanyano, Kaswa here, who drive into Accra every day with their kids and back. At the weekend, where do they go? They don't have to go and then go back into that traffic. Now, fortunately, we are close to them. It's just 30 minutes drive from Kaswa. So at the weekends, bring your family here. Let the children come and experience God or the presence of God. Nature as it was meant to be. And I am a lover of William Wordsworth. Says he is a lover of nature and I'm a lover of nature. Let all love nature. If you love something, you preserve it. We probably don't preserve it because we don't love it. Let's love nature. Let's not cut out all the places for a building. I'm sure if I had not brought this in,
I'm sure by this,
because as you see along the road, they are cutting all the places. They are building and not thinking of where we relax.
This one of the things personally I've been thinking about it. In the next 20-25 years,
all the land
where are we going to get land to farm?
All the farming lands are gone.
Difficult.
From Akuti Junction to this way. So it's also an appeal to our chiefs. Please leave some of the lands for posterity. Some of the lands for God's creation. The birds are vanishing. I have a few birds who come in seasonally here to come and mate. Yeah. And when they come, I have my binoculars, I just go in. So bird watching is some of the things that we do. You see this bridge was made so that I can get closer to the water, get closer to where the birds are and watch the birds. So my whole idea is to bring you closer to the nature. When I came here, you couldn't sit here. So we had to bring machine to level this place and get you closer to the water. So let's get closer to nature. Let's come to Gomoa Wonderland.
Okay, now my last question. Honourable, you said this thing. Are you trying to export it? About 75 acres, more than 100 acres cocoa farm. What another plan apart from this fresh, cocoa fresh and the milk?
I wish I could, but we don't have the quantities. You see, the way we've treated coconut all along, we have not treated the way we treated cocoa. So we don't have the acreage to support serious factories. I'm glad our government, my government, has set out the tree crop.
The JIPA.
The tree crop.
Promotion
No. There's a tree crop development authority.
Okay.
Focusing on coconuts, cashew, palm, rubber, and others. It's headed by one of my former colleagues.
I've not heard this thing before.
Yeah, it's headed by one of my former colleagues, former MP4, Achim Odan, who has that. And that is a brilliant idea this government had brought in. So that we can pay attention to this, what we call non-traditional. We call it non-traditional. We can make them traditional.
Yeah, because this
but the acreage we have is not enough for me to support a factory. Even this, if people continue coming here, I probably may have to go elsewhere to look for some of this thing. But for now, we'll just give it from farm to table. But I'm encouraging other people to also plant these things, coconuts, so that we can then aggregate people who can aggregate them, and then we can then think of exporting these things.
Okay, so this is my voice to the people. Let's hear your voice at the comment section. If you like this interview, just click on the likes, share the video, let other people have opportunity to also view. Do you understand? So, Honourable, Ghanaians are watching you. Ghanaians want to hear what you have to say about sanitation and what you, Honourable David Opong Kusi, want them to do so that our Ghana will be clean, neat again.
Fortunately, it says cleanliness is next to godliness. We are a very religious people in Ghana. We go to church every day, but it does not reflect in the way we look after God's creation. So my advice is that if you are a true Christian, the Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness. Let's start by keeping our homes clean, our surroundings clean. Let's start by respecting nature, loving nature, and making sure we don't destroy what God has given us, what we cannot produce ourselves. so that going forward, this country will be clean. It can only be clean from our hearts. If you don't feel it in our hearts, you cannot do it with your hands. You can go, so today is a day for cleaning. People do this half-heartedly. You clean today, the following day, you dump the same thing back. Until it comes from a true belief that I'm God's created and I'm responsible for keeping this planet, this environment, this country clean. We will not do it. We are Christians. We are Muslims. Cleanliness is part of our doctrine. Let's be clean. Let's respect nature. Let's stop littering things around. And then I'm sure this country will be better for all of us.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Ghana. Share the video and let's have 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 likes immediately. Honourable is here. So please share love by sharing the video and like it. God bless you and God bless Ghana. Thank you, Honourable.
Thank you very much
for
your time.
coming to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.